Hello, I'm Lisa and this is my good friend Mr. Indiana Bones. Say hello, Indiana. He doesn't say a lot. I get asked two questions about Indiana Bones when I take him into schools. First question, is he real? Well, he's real plastic. He's not real bone, he's real plastic. But he is an exact copy of a real man's skeleton that was taken and moulded and is now used all over the world to teach people all about what's inside their body. Which leads to the other question. Is he a he? Well, yes, he is. Because our skeletons are one of the few places where men and women are different. Our brains are the same. We can all do exactly the same kind of stuff and think the same things, but our skeletons are one bit that is different. One place where it's different is here. This is the biggest bone that's different. This is our pelvis. And in men, it's slightly smaller than it is in women. So a woman's pelvis has to be big enough to allow her to carry babies if she gets pregnant. So women have wider hips because we have the bigger bones, and that gives us bigger bottoms. So we can't help it. It's just the way we are. But you're all right, aren't you, Indy? He doesn't say a lot, but he's a very good listener. My friend here, Indiana Bones, got lots and lots of different bones in his body, and they've got lots and lots of different names. So let's have a look at the names of some of them. Starting at the top. Big tough one at the top, your skull. This protects your soft, squishy brain that's protected inside. Coming down here, we've got your jawbone. Your jaw here, say hello. There we go. And in your jaw, you've got your lovely, clean, smiling teeth. We've got the neck bones here. So these bones form part of your spine, your backbone. If I turn him round, look at that. You can see his spine going all the way down here. We've got shoulder blades there while we've got him turned around. Oh. And then we've got the bones of his arms. We've got the bones of his legs. But one of the most important things about bones is that they're very, very strong and stiff and they don't move. But if our bones were all stuck together, we wouldn't be able to move either. So, very important thing with bones is the gaps in between them, because that's what lets us move. And the gaps are called our joints. So we've got Indiana's hip joint here that lets the leg move. We've got Indiana's knee joint here. Let the bottom part of his leg move. And we've got shoulder up here, moves in all sorts of different directions. And then we've got Indiana's elbows. And then we've got other joints like the wrist, moves like that. So let the hand hang down. Look, that's hanging down like that. And then brings it up like that. And your wrist twists that way as well. And Indiana's ankles right down here. Let his feet move in different directions. Other things to know about our bones. Mention that our skull protects our brain. And protection is a very important part of what our skeleton does for us. These bones here, our ribs, these protect our lungs and our heart. Your lungs fill all of this space inside here. Your lungs are really quite big. And your heart, about the size of your fist, sits just inside there. So our skeleton and our bones help to protect the soft squishy bits that are inside us. They give us the strength and the support and the structure. If we didn't have these great big long bones, we'd just be a pile of skin and muscle on the floor. So our skeleton gives us structure and support, and the gaps between our bones allow our muscles to give us movement. There's lots going on our skeleton on the inside. Thank you, Indiana. There's one more thing I'd like to tell you about your bones and your skeleton. When a baby's born, it's got about 300 bones in its body. But by the time you reach adulthood, you've only got 206. And the difference is all to do with how your bones grow. Now, I've taken his right arm off. It's okay, he's armless. When your long bones in particular grow, they're actually separate bones. They don't grow from the end here. There's a gap there. And your long bits of bones are actually growing from just in there, behind this top bit. So there's a gap in children. So you have separate bones. And it grows and grows and grows in there. And then when you reach adulthood, the two parts join together, they fuse, joining together into one big strong bone, and that's what stops you from growing. And if you look very carefully, you can see the join. It's actually still visible round the top of the arm bone there. And if we look at the other end, down at the wrist bones here, the end of the two bones there, you can see the joins there too. So with children, this is a separate little bone from this bit, and the growing happens in the gap. And there's another place where you can really see that happen as well. Excuse me, Indiana. I'm just going to borrow your head. Because if you look on your skull, you might see that there are these zigzaggy shaped, what look like cracks. There's one round there, there's one round there at the back, and there's one all the way down the middle. But they're not cracks, they're the joins where the different bones, there's another one round there too, not this line, that's the model, this line here. That's where the separate bones of a baby's skull join together as the skull grows and gets bigger. And if you ever have been lucky enough to get to hold and cuddle a newborn baby, you might have felt on the top of their head there's actually a big gap here on a newborn baby, with a big gap in the skull bones, so that it can be born safely and then the rest of the bones grow over and fill in the gap. And that's what leaves these ziggy-zaggy marks on the skull. So that's how you grow. And that's why babies are born with about 300 bones, but adults have only 206.